Hey everyone, it's the Kill Team Casuals. Hello and welcome, just so making sure that everyone feels like they've been welcoming properly. We've united the three amigos again. I'm joined by the wonderful, live from work, Ben from Battle Brothers Tabletop.
That's me, also known as Obelisk number 2 in our combined Obelisk node matrix. That is the Kill Team Casuals. Passing it over to Obelisk node number 3, really rolls off the tongue, Russ from GFN Gaming.
Ooh, Obelix Matrix. Oh, I was trying to say it, but it's so hard to say. I hate it. Matrix. I feel like I am currently ITD, and I'm passing this over to the third of our Obelix node matrices, Reese from Three Staroon, baby.
The full matrice with the 3. I love it. Well, we've gone with the new time zone again. So if you are joining us live, thank you so much. We've got Thomas in there. We've got Tabletop Warmaster, I always get that wrong. Melsin Euro, Richard Warrior Princess. We've got Zaro Slaw. Thank you so much, everyone, already jumping in the chat for joining us. As we've got, we decided last week, Ben, that we're never the first to talk about the things that come out, but we are, in fact, the final
The most authoritative? Yeah.
We're the final word.
I would call us the authority.
The last
you know what I mean?
word,
Yeah.
the full stop.
Yeah. So
the gospel, the Kill Team gospel is how I refer to us, to other content creators.
Other people, they're going off half-cocked, firing from the hip, lots of guesswork, but us, no, we put in the time and play at least one game and think about it a little bit and wait till everybody has given us the full, all the opinions so we can pick the bits we like.
Wait to hear everybody else's thoughts so we don't have to play. We can just listen to other people's thoughts and then regurgitate it.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're talking the Kill
Team.
Team.
Précis of the internet's thoughts.
Yes, we're talking the Kill Team approved ops cards.
Essentially what we've done is we have absorbed all the information. I've actually been playing a ton of games, so I have some thoughts of my own. We've absorbed the internet's thoughts, shoved it through the funnel that is, the triumvirate of, these three beautiful brains, and we've distilled it to everything that you truly need to know. So you can unsubscribe from everybody else. You can unlike those videos. You delete those comments and just enjoy what we're about to give you. So
we're the Chat GPT. We're basically just skimming the internet for all of the thoughts.
Chat KTC.
I love that. Chat KTC. I love that. G'day to Toby in the chat there as well. First time catching us live. So thank you so much for making the effort. We really appreciate it.
Welcome to the show.
Yes. Russ, also, we do need to just comment for those listening auditorily via the ear holes. Russ is coming to us from the shadow today. He is in the darkest of realms.
You know what he looks like?
Should I take my hat off just so I can reflect more light?
Yeah. He looks like, in the Matrix when they unplug and you see everybody like in these like spaceship cave corridors. That's what he looks like right now. Looks like he's hacking the mainframe from... Yeah, it looks like he's hacking the mainframe from like the resistance ships. Yeah.
G'day to Screech and Hexa as well. So let's not muck around. Obviously, we still have to say, because thank you very much to Games Workshop for sending this to us early. Although we're not talking about it early, we still did get it early, and that's where the in-depth research began. That we started to really go to the lab. Overall thoughts. We're going to go obviously into it. We're not going to cover every card and every bits and pieces because we're the final word. We're not talking about everything. I think
we're not going to waste your time. We value your time, guys. We're not going to waste it.
We respect you too much.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah. How do we feel overall? Now we have had a few games with the cards. Are we happy with these changes overall? Do we feel good?
A summary?
About it.
Please.
Yeah, summary.
We're not going to waste your time with a summary about the cards. The episode's over. Thank you for your time. No. So
why don't you go first, Russ?
I'll go first because I know Ben's chomping at the bit to tell us all about how many games he's played. So I've played a couple of games now in the new system, and the biggest change, I guess, obviously there's changes across the board, and there's a slight change. I think the biggest change has to be arguably the initiative change, because obviously the TAC ops, the missions, it's still missions and TAC ops, although they're all different or largely different. The biggest shakeup to the actual way you will play the game if you're using the approved ops is the change of the initiative roll off and when you do the initiative. And I guess that has replaced scouting, which if you loved scouting, it's gone. C'est la vie, no more scouting. To be fair, I was skeptical going in. I think me and Reese were the skeptical ones, and Ben was like, "It's all good." I was worried that it would have too much of an impact. So far, it has had zero impact on the game. It hasn't. It's literally done nothing. There's never been a situation where the cards have changed anything. So I think it was probably unfounded to say it's going to change stuff. I am looking forward to having a game where it has an impact, though. So far, it's been whoever wins the roll just wins, and apart from the roll off, that's your only chance. It's been interesting. Like, I think it has just been a case where someone's rolled a 6 and someone has rolled a 3, and it's like, well, you've got a +3 and I've got a +3. So I think what happens is at the end of the game, you end up with. And I know there's strategic ways to play it, and we'll talk about that because I know Ben's going to be like cheesing it. But it's ended up where both players have
his
a
mic cable.
+3.
He wants to get in here, Russ. All right.
I'm Ben, this is my filibuster.
Yeah.
Are you ready? Are you ready, Buster?
I
'Cause it's my
suggested. I don't know if
filibuster.
maybe you didn't hear, but I suggested that you go first. That was my suggestion.
Well, there you go.
I just want to get all the bad takes out of the way.
Yeah, I was gonna say get the drivel, and then we'll get into the good stuff. No, so I think there's a real scenario where, so if I guess the main thing is whoever decides to have initiative after the first initiative roll off, the other person gets a reroll, and then after every turn, whoever loses the dice roll, and this is after cards have been used to manipulate that roll, whoever loses the dice roll then gets the card. So I think there's a scenario in which I was playing a game and I actually did think about using my -1 in order to get the +2, because I was like, oh, I don't mind who gets initiative this round. If I minus my dice, because my opponent doesn't have one, I could actually lose this dice roll and then get, or because it was because I went first, they had the tie. So basically, if I tied the cards, they would have won and I would have got the plus. And I was like, oh, but I didn't do it because we were having a casual game. But I can see a scenario in a tournament game where you're like, I really want, it's more important to have turning point 3 and 4. I will purposely use this card because when we first were talking about it, I was like, why would you ever minus your dice roll? But I kind of see it now. You minus it to get a better plus for turns 3 and 4. But yeah, what do you guys think? I know Ben's dying to speak, so Reese, tell us, what do you like about the new initiative? If you've had a game now, what did you feel of it?
My favorite part here is just holding Ben back. So my turn to filibuster for a bit.
basically,
Hey, guys, I'm fine, dude. I love to hear your foolish opinions. You know what I love more than hearing your bad takes is I love being able to correct you. I love being right.
Yeah.
So get it out of the way.
The one thing and me and you, Ben, definitely have had a few chats about this in the green room and online.
Got pretty heated.
Yeah, and it got serious, which was good. I'm of the camp here, and maybe it's the traditionalist in me, but I still don't get why you play a dice game if you then want to add extra layers to take the chance of a dice game out of it. Like each turn,
Hey, hailed man, 1985 called. They want your white dwarf back, buddy.
as someone who probably in this group still is probably of the most of the casual variety, the person who's lowest ranked in the world, I think it's somewhere around the 10 millions.
We're not even talking about Kill Team here. We're just talking about
it was interesting picking it up to play, and against a few people who maybe hadn't played quite as much or as often. And for them,
describing
especially,
them as scrubs before, but
yes,
nice
exactly. Peons,
subhuman, I think is what he called them.
Yeah,
subhuman, I think.
Kill Team Proles, I think you called them, which I thought was a bit
thralls. His personal thralls is what he told me.
When I got them out from the basement and I shuffled them into the gaming room and put down the tarp.
I've got the image of you bring out the gimp. It just like opens up a chest and this leather-bound person sneaks out to play Kill Team with you. As you whip them with a riding crop.
it was interesting to see and having to bring in the new system for the games, and nearly every one of them said, "But why? Like, why did we need to have a plus like?" Especially this system adding reroll +1 +3 +2, that on top of the fact that and Russ, I had to confirm with you the fact that we still have, I guess, the catch up mechanic of the CP involved in the initiative as well. Like, so just to start the turn, now it's someone's getting a card or a bonus, we can affect the roll, and you also get the bonus of getting an extra CP if you lose. It's like,
Yeah.
why are we trying to level that playing field of a 1 in 6 dice roll? You know, like I don't.
Yeah.
No, go ahead. Sorry. I thought you were.
Yeah. I was gonna say, Ben. It's probably me next.
Simmer down, Ben.
Relax.
Or I'm saying,
I will actually say something, but
go on, Russ.
So
I love I've set you both off now.
I was initially, because I love chaos.
Hold that thought, Russ. As a rebuttal to your earlier point. Okay, yeah.
I think we should interrupt each other more. Actually, I quite like this.
I think so too.
Probably, yeah. No. So actually, I did. Yeah, I like chaos. I like these things, but I think what I realized that this, when they were like, let's take away alpha strikes. I think what this is, we didn't experience when we were playing casually. But if you have a game where you literally have lost every single initiative roll off, this means it's nigh impossible to lose the last one. And I think that is kind of good to be like, you didn't go a game where you got 0 chance to do your move first. And I think that is good, because I've had games where you've literally lost, and it is just on the roll of a dice, and it never gets any better than you maybe break ties, but you literally lose every initiative, and you're like, I haven't really had a chance. I've been playing way defensively all game. I haven't had that chance to deliver my turn. And by 4, if they get the last turn 4 and they've had turn 1, 2, 3, like, it's just, it is a bit much. And I think maybe like getting rid of alpha strikes, this is to get rid of that feel bad of I haven't been able to play my game because I didn't get a chance to go first at all. And I think that's where it actually is.
Do you know what fixes that? If you haven't won initiative all game, you automatically get turning point 4.
You know what?
I'm butting in. I literally cannot stand it anymore. I literally can't take it anymore. So here's the thing. As a rebuttal to your earlier remarks, Reese, about a dice game, by that logic, should we remove rerolls?
100%. Yes.
We've said that the whole time.
All the rerolls.
Yes.
All rerolls.
As many as possible. It should be on a super tight leash. Yes.
Okay.
100%.
Yeah,
okay.
100%.
So then
this is what you're dealing with.
So by that remark, then we should go play Necromunda. Or let's go play Old World or something, right? So I think
I still want to skirmish.
I don't think dice rolls make Kill Team. Like that's re-rolls will make or break Kill Team. The game can still have a separate good mechanic.
Yeah.
But I think they've done a much better job of reeling dice rolls in now. Like, it's definitely gotten better. They've looked a lot. Relentless is by and large gone a lot more now.
Yeah, they've taken it out.
They've done it, which I said but that I think is at a much better point than it was. Like, if you think not that long ago, it felt like every second unit could get Relentless or had it.
Yeah. So I think on the topic of rerolls, like, it is on a game that is so like finely tuned as Kill Team. I will say the rule set is really tight. It's a way like. It's the best way, aside from giving like accurate, where you just get automatic successes. Like, it's the best way to sort of like up the points value secretly of a unit. You know what I mean? Because there's no points values, but has to be some sort of blind, subterranean points level that everything is sort of operating, around, just so that there can be some inherent balance. So I'm pro rerolls in a skirmish game, just because when you're only rolling like in 40K, when you're rolling 40 dice and you get full rerolls to hit, full rerolls to wound, that's like egregious. You know what I mean? Like, that is just, let me just take my toys and go home. When Kill Team, when it's like, here's my 4 dice, I really need this to go off. You know what I mean? Like, having a see this or a reroll in somewhere, I think is actually really beneficial. But yeah, the changes to no scouting. Guess what? I am pro no scouting. Get it out of here.
Hey,
Scouting set was
scouting's
clunky.
gone.
Yeah, scouting was clunky. By the way, I enjoyed it, but I am also enjoying not having it because it was clunky.
Yeah.
It was weird to teach. Like you had to run somebody through like 2 or 3 times how scouting step actually worked. And so, but I like that you just pick your equipment and you get what you get. But the change is, like so many times you can lose a game of Kill Team because you lost. Because here's the thing. Sure, you automatically get turn 4 initiative, but by that point, it's too little, too late. And if you have lost turns 2 and 3, hey, here's there you go, good job, buddy. Here's your participation trophy. You had an automatic 4th turn. I think at that point it's too late. What I think this really fixes the problem of is if you didn't get 2nd turn initiative, then man, you have such a higher chance now to get the all important turn 3 that it's so good because there are so many games that I have lost in large part too. It's like, oh man, yeah, I did get turn 2 or 3 initiative, and like he hit me hard turn 2 and took out my first place tool, and then he won. He took out my plan A, but then he also won turn 3 initiative, took out my plan C tool. You know what I mean? And so I think turns 2 and 3 are the most important, going in turns. And so now it's just a lot harder to get diced. And to me, I think in a competitive game, because I'm on the topic of rerolls, Necromunda and Old World and stuff like that, those games are awesome because, like, man, you're there for the vibe. You're there for hey, it's full on chaos. Like, the dice are truly going to tell this story. But on a competitive game, I think you have to have some things like this to help mitigate. So I'm very much pro initiative cards.
But if you're skewing,
what about Reese's point though? Yeah. Well, like to Reese's point, you roll off a turning point 1. Whoever gets turning point 2, the other person gets turning point 3. And then 4, you roll off again. That would work.
Yeah, it could.
No chance of getting dice.
That'd be much simpler.
Because that's what I'm saying. Because you're skewing it so much. Like you are, as you said, you're pretty much nearly guaranteeing that one will get 2, and the next person should get 3. And then we think both people would walk away going, "That felt right. That felt good. That was that I didn't get diced all game on my initiative." So it's like then just make it that. Don't make it that there's a 98% chance or a 90% chance, because then still, if it does go wrong, you'll still walk away going, well, I got diced by initiative. That's like, well.
So you would rather have it be like either all the way in one camp or all the way in the other?
Yeah, that's it. Like either literally just go, okay, we roll off for initiative turning point 1. I'm giving it to you. That set the order for the game. We now know it alternates back, forth, back, forth.
Ooh, but then that's gross. Yeah. That's grosser. Actually, now you're wrong.
That's what we're getting.
It's full on bad.
That's what we're getting close to anyway.
You know what,
that's what we're getting close to.
Some of us realize that life is not black and white. Some of us are forced to live in the gray that is reality. You know what I mean?
So what you're saying is you want chance, but not too much. you want controlled chance.
Yeah. I think it's actually this. Ever heard of a sweet spot, Reese? I don't know if they have those in Australia. You ever heard of a sweet spot? I think this is in a real sweet spot that where you do have these elements of chaos, but there is I guess like you said, controlled chaos, maybe a way to put it. But I think there's still a mini game happening. You know what I mean? Because if you have the power to set the turn order and that's what it's going to be all game, I think that's way too powerful. But this is
don't get me wrong. I don't want that, but I'm saying because of this system, we're we're bumper bowling. You can't get a gutter bolt ball because it makes you feel bad. We put the bumpers into the thing. You can't get a gutter ball.
I don't know. I've ever heard Reese have such a strong opinion on literally anything. This is this is shocking to me. This is shocking. Yeah, I really like it. I think it's good. I think just playing tournaments and stuff like that. I think it's just a way to help keep things on the rails a little bit more. And I personally think it's a good thing.
I'm a little bit not miffed.
What is chat saying right now? What's chat saying? We should go.
They hate you, Ben. It's quite venomous actually. Everyone.
I would have preferred if this left with Beta Decima leaving, because it feels like the scouting phase having lost equipment a chance to get extra equipment, Beta Decima now needs to come with scatter terrain in order to kind of like how the new Into Dark. Because when you were playing Beta Decima, you were like, well, I need barricades. I probably need to take barricades. And if I'm a slow team, I probably need ladders. And then you've got two options, whereas teams that don't have those restrictions or can take additional, like Deathwatch, for example, can take additional equipment, or teams with additional equipment are less hindered by Beta Decima. And I know that's a bad example saying Beta Decima because everyone kind of hates it anyway. But I do feel kind of like that. Like I would love them to just say, "Hey, everyone gets barricades at Beta Decima. Everyone gets ladders and barricades at Beta Decima." Like as it comes as standard, and we've added some light terrain scatter as well, just because it doesn't matter that it's light terrain, but it feels like certain teams like Plague Marines, if you want to get up to the top, you pretty much need ladders.
I think Plagues are cooked right now, man. Plagues are in such a rough spot. But I think that to that point, Beta Decima, at least over here, is just kind of a joke, and like not even.
But people still
we don't
play
even
it.
Use it. You guys play
people
it?
Still use it. Yeah, I mean, I hate that they do, but like if you go to G-dubs, if you go to a Warhammer
there's
World
layouts.
One,
you know,
like, I think it's marginally better. I think the layouts are marginally better. But yeah, no U.S. events use them, which is interesting. Well, I think we have maybe some New England guys, but anyways, yeah, it's you don't even see it on a table here.
I'm seeing a pattern here, Russ. It's the U.S. here when they don't like things. They just like, you know,
we just throw it in the harbor, dude.
You made it, you made it a bit complicated. You made it something we don't like. We're not. We don't want that. We're not doing that around here.
That's called the American spirit, brother.
The American way.
It's called being a patriot, brother.
Schools there.
Oh, I love it. I mean, look, the chat.
I had no idea this would be so divisive. This is crazy. Yeah,
the chat seems pretty mixed. We see both like people, but
it looks like most of them. Most people agree with you. It looks like
most people
at least on the cards. Yeah. I think here's what I think this truly boils down to. Maybe this might be a something we'll see throughout this entire approved ops pack. Is I think that people just typically do not like change. I think it's more that it's changed is the problem versus what it was changed to. That's my opinion.
Yeah, potentially.
Is that because I think this approved ops is sort of like a sneaky new addition. Like they were.
It always is.
I think they could have primed us a little bit better. That the changes here are more substantial, I think, than many of us like assumed. Like I was not anticipating this level of change for the game. No. But it really is. And so I think that also is catching people off a little bit too, where like we were, okay, new TAC Ops, cool. But it's like, nope, this is like a full kind of new way to play the game. And so I think it's almost like a little 3.5 edition, which, you know, I wasn't totally prepared for personally. So I can understand it.
I think Lando in the chat's put it correctly. I don't like learning. It's overrated. So there you go.
That's a Florida man. God bless him. We are what we are.
I just wanted to quickly shout out before we get too far. Thank you so much, Lando, for subscribing as well, and Ralphin as well. Both are resubbing. So thank you so much. It means a whole bunch and helps to support the pod. So legends of the show, we appreciate you and your casualness. Interesting. So I mean. So in summary, I think we've all agreed that we're happy to see the back of the scouting step. Happy that that's gone. There's a bit of, I think, going forward, it will be interesting to see how the initiative goes the longer we play with it. Because I said it's also that thing, once the competitive scene gets a hold of it, who's the first person to work out something that makes it feel bad for their opponent? There'll be someone who will work out the trick. I think, Russ, you were sort of touching on it before, where you're like, oh, what if you deliberately give away this? So finding ways to the loopholes that players inevitably do. I think the one thing that's interesting, we're touching on with Beta Decima there as well, is how important operatives that let you bring extra equipment now feel. Thanks to the goodbye of the scouting step. I think that's a secret glow up for a few teams, especially if you end up playing Beta Decima.
Deathwatch.
Scouts have their own phase now, basically, don't they?
So I think
what all operatives can we think of aside from like Scouts can do it, Deathwatch can do it. Any other teams?
Salvages.
Hearthkin is Salvages, yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Trying to
Both.
think.
I think both of the Hearthkin teams. The Rattlings can take
probably.
additional.
Yeah, Rattlings can take about 900 extra pieces.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyone
The
short.
lugger is
Yeah, really
officially
ups their
OP.
stock.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Someone's just said, Jim in the chat has just said, apparently that Can You Roll a Crit has already worked out how to crack it. That's the thing. You make a system that and this is like any video game that comes out, and you go, we made this thing, and it's really good, and then everyone just spends their time trying to work out how to nerf and cheese it and break it,
and
then
but it'd be like percentage chance, won't it?
Well, that's
like I say, the games I've had, it's had zero impact on the game. I won initiative, they won, and it was all based on the dice roll, and the cards couldn't impact it. So it's going to be interesting to see. So sometimes you're going to play a game where you're going to be like, these cards ultimately are meaningless, apart from the reroll. But again, it still does depend on a dice roll, and if your opponent rolls 6 every time, you're going to lose that roll. Apart from turning point 4, when you get a +6 to your roll, basically.
Yeah, and it was, as Ben sort of said too, we know the go turns are turns 2 and 3. It can definitely come down to turning point 4, especially obviously we have close games, and that's fantastic. But you'd probably say the vast majority, a lot of the time, by you get to turning point 4, it's cleanup duties. You're like, okay, we've both got 2 operatives left. You're gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, and that's the initiative never usually feels quite as oppressive in that last turn.
Yeah.
You mentioned,
I think it's a cool element
scoring
as well, where like depending on what team you're playing, you can like decide, okay, like I'm playing a hyper aggressive team, like boom, I'm a turn 2 team. So I'm gonna try and get this so I can get these cards so I can make sure I have 2. Or it's like, no, I'm actually a turns 3 and 4 team. So I'm gonna try and give it away so I can get I just think it's a cool little element of gaminess that you can add in that I think it's cool. Like one example, there was turn 3. I had control over turn 1 and turn 2, and I think I went in with whatever that means. I had a reroll and a +1, but my opponent had a +2 or something. I forget which turn we were in. I think that means we're going into turn 3, and I was like, boom! I rolled a 5, and no, he had the reroll and I had the whatever plus. Anyways, what it worked out to is he had a reroll. I rolled a 5 and had a +1. I was like, boom! I'm on a 6. Sweet! Like I'm going to crush your soul because I have 3 turns in a row now. And he's like, what? I guess I'll use my reroll because that gives me, if I can get a 6, I can get initiative. Boom, rolls a 6. Man, it was like just a cool little moments like that. Now, I'm sure there will be some feels bads that come, but I think it's a fun little mini game to play.
Why is that better than him just rolling a 6 though?
Well, I don't think this is better or inherently better or worse, but I think it is more balanced. Where like, because he should have like it just any way that can help you mitigate getting diced all 4 turning points.
As someone who's
totally a good thing in my opinion.
Done that regularly, I see the appeal. I mean, as much as I just love being a big devil's advocate here. I see the appeal, and I definitely get it. I've had those games where I've just you haven't got initiative, and you walk away from the table going, geez, if I had won just one, maybe the game's a different game. So I get
100%.
it. It's just it's one of those things. I definitely think Kill Team is a game.
And a cool thing is, sorry.
As I say, it should have rerolls. Like I'm definitely not a real advocate for no rerolls, but I like when it's on a tighter leash so they feel so much more important. Like that it feels like a big deal when you use it.
Yeah. The cool thing is like if you're mostly just playing like at the shop or with your buddies, you can just opt to not use it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that can be like this is the tournament pack. But when you're playing with your buds, you prefer that, has literally no effect on the game, like aside from scouting, but it's just now there's no scouting. So yeah, you can just opt to not use it if you want to.
It was interesting too. I don't know about you guys, and again, maybe this is the full-blown casual in me, but even for myself though, with the new card, like obviously you get the little thing that sort of like walks you through the start of the game and the new steps and all that sort of stuff. But then it is that funny thing of it took me a while to go, oh, wait a minute. What about command points? And this might be just, everyone might have a problem, but I was just like, wait, is it still using the new system, the old system? How many command points am I getting? Because it doesn't, obviously that's in the core rules now. That's been an update to the core rules about that catch-up mechanic, and Russ was the one that had to point that out to me. But again, if you were like, you're getting this deck and you're just using this to drive your game, there's I still find at times Games Workshop stuff, it's like, just put a reference in there that if you're confused about command points, it's here under section 2.1 or whatever. Did you guys find that at all?
I think I noticed it, but in my head, and this is not advice, but I assumed nothing had changed because only like starting with 2, like that just is such an imbalance. I was like, no way could that be like, because I could see where you like if you just have that, it looks like, well, I guess we start with 2 and then, but that's just such a crazy imbalance that my brain just went, there's got to be something that fixes this, like that, which is not a recommended path, but just that's how I thought about it. Like, there's no way that somebody could start with extra CP like going into the game, because starting with 2, you can't play a lot of teams with 2 CP going in. Like, there's so many CP hungry teams that like you're just boned if you do that.
Yeah, well, that's it. But it's also not just the start, how many you start with, but then also the initiative roll ones as well of if you win or lose.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I didn't even catch that one.
But I'm saying you're correct. Both points are a little bit ambiguous because it's kind of like both players start with 2 CP, and then it doesn't mention it again through the whole setup and play process.
I do remember it. I remember it was the same in the previous edition, 24 co-op. They just said you get 2 CP. So I remember a lot of people playing just 2 CP, and I was like, I remember it was part of core rules that they were like, at turning point 1 you get 2, and then the loser gets 2 of the initiative side, and then whoever goes. So I was like, I remember thinking it's exactly the same, it's just in the core rules. But you're right, 100%. If you're just using this and you end up with, like, it should say as per core rules page X, every turn you turning point 1 you get an additional CP, and then the loser of the rule. I mean, just in case you're using this is the only thing you're using to play the game, it's not all there. It is, you still, unless that's the point, unless the point is you need to reference the rule book. Like, we made
it's just
a rule
unusual
book.
Because nearly every other thing is mentioned that needs to get you going. Nearly every other step-by-step is played. I just thought that's quite a strange omission. Especially, again, we assume now we've all been playing for every X amount of editions now. So that's, as you said, Ben, your brain goes, no, logic says that doesn't feel right, so it means this. Or Ras, as you said, you know that it was it's in the core rules, it's under this section, the CP. But for a lot of players, a lot of the newer players or players coming in or picking this deck up after not playing for a while, that's another one of those ones where it's just like, it's a small thing, but that's part of teaching the game or helping to guide someone to kick off a game. And I think it's probably missed a little bit. And and as Lando's just said in the chat, and the rule book's out of date. So, you would think...
That's classic GW. The second something is printed, it's already out of date.
Yeah.
Like, just as time immemorial. Like, this is how they do things.
Yeah. It's, just that's a small thing. But again, for me, playing with my group of mates who we are true casuals, play once every 2 months, once a month in our little core group, that's it for them. It was like, geez, there's so much new stuff to remember, and a lot of back and forth checking of things because it's been a while, and a lot of players will play like that. Not everyone, gets to play every week or, every couple of weeks. So some people, you'll be coming back in and out of the game as well. They said, this is, so there you go. Jim Crimmins just said in the chat, this is where a single online rules book would make too much sense.
Yeah, I'd love to see them move to more digital. Like, they've made leaps and bounds towards the digital step with like the app and stuff. But to go full digital would just be awesome, dude. I'd love to see that.
Yeah.
It's especially with stuff like this, new stuff
PDFs
drops
out.
Yeah.
That was good.
Well, there we go. We've got fired up. Let's keep staying fired up, Ben. You did an awesome video with Shane over at Command Points, doing a bit of a tier list of the new TAC Ops. If you haven't watched it, I definitely recommend you go check it out. Shane obviously has awesome insights. Ben has some okay ones, but it's really cool.
Middling.
There's a reason why I had him on. I was leaning on him. You know what I mean? I was leaning on him.
But
leveraging, if you will.
Worth checking out. How have you guys now? Again, a few games in, Ben. Let's kick off with you. How are you finding the new TAC Ops? You enjoying the new suite? Has it given you more options than the previous set?
So I think better or worse is kind of tough on that. Like, what I do think is these TAC Ops mean that hordes have a big leg up now as far as scoring, which they frankly have needed for a long time. That, you know, it's sometimes difficult for hordes to get things done. Like security now is essentially hordes only, almost. Like, you know, there are certain teams with certain exceptions, but security is basically, can you out activate them? Okay, then you can play security. But elites that lean on security, like plagues, essentially plagues. Oof, I don't know how plagues are going to play this game at this point, honestly.
Wow,
with scoring
big.
So some of these, I think in general, the TAC ops are harder to score, and I think games will be lower scoring. And that side of things, I actually really like. Like going to tournaments, how many times have we all seen like the top 8, you're going in with like 21, 21, 20, 21, 20. Like, it's like, it's not a ton of like, cool, you look like you maybe cracked the code there. But I think an average win now might be 18 points. And so that just gives you like, man, if you scored an 18 or if you scored a 21, you either clubbed a baby seal or, man, you really know what you're doing. Whereas like right now, it's not that difficult to score a 21. But now there are some crit ops where there's only 6 points crit to score, period. So I think this is going to reward doing a couple of deep dives into the missions, knowing I really feel like this is a very much a competitive pack rather. And I think maybe this might be the issue boiling down, is because I can super see sort of like where you're coming from on the crit ops and the TAC ops. This is very much a competitive map or a competitive pack, more so than anything we've seen in the past, because you're going to have to read the missions a couple times to get acquainted with these. Like, it is not loot secure. Like, there's some stuff that's kind of wordy. Now, I think they're really interesting and fun. And I think, you know, some of these are good, but you're going to have to take some time and read these. And same with TAC ops. Like, there's not many 6 free point TAC ops anymore. You know, like, retrieval, like, hey, you take retrieval. Why do you take that one? Because it's a brain dead 4 points. But man, it's really difficult to get the 5 or 6 on there. And so what I also, something else that I really like is I think kill op and crit op are more on the table more than ever for picking a primary. Because before, 99% of all games that I played or saw played, people are taking TAC. Why? Because you can have so much control over it. But now that it's way more difficult to get 5+ points, I think you're going to see a lot of crit now. I think you're going to see a lot of kill now. And I think those are valid options. So I think we're going to have lower scoring games. And like, there's no more wiretap. That's awesome. You know, so, some of the real lowest of the low are gone, which is good. But again, I think not many free 6-pointers on here, which is a massive change.
It was interesting seeing the tier list as well. No spoilers, I won't go through the whole thing. But the one thing that really stood out for me that I thought was very interesting was only one D tier TAC op, which I thought was a really good sign, that there's only one that you're like, as we just mentioned, wiretap. But you know what I mean? I feel like there was probably quite a few more in the last pack that were
unusable,
unusable, basically, yeah. So that's, I mean, I think really good to see. It seemed quite balanced as you sort of went through it all. Definitely seems like there's interesting there. They seem to have balanced seek and destroy a lot better. I feel like seek and destroy, actually, there's a few that have some play, especially for elite teams, but it still doesn't feel like too much of a double up on the kill op, which is obviously probably the fear with seek and destroy. If you make it too easy just to keep killing, you can really stack that kill op and the seek and destroy kill op at the same time. They seem to have balanced that pretty well.
Yeah. I think now, like, a big point is that elite teams can kind of now play seek and destroy, or pardon me, non-elite teams can play seek and destroy a little bit better, which was very difficult before, which is cool. And elites play it really, really well. Like, route being back in the game, I think is just an awesome, awesome change. But I do think, like, elites, you know, they've been too good for too long, has been a sort of, everybody's been saying that for a long time. Now, like, route, depending on the board, route is difficult to score. And guess what? Sweep and clear and dominate are not free options either. So, like, you might not score 6 points, 5-6 points on your TAC op anymore, even if you're elite. So, like, plant banner is there, but that's really tough. So I think you're going to have to work harder to get those TAC op points, which again may be bad for casual play. You know, like where it's harder to score these things. But in competitive play, I think we're going to see a lot of skill expression sort of rise to the top on these issues.
Yeah, Thomas sort of just said in the chat there that with 15 games, he's yet to see more than about a 17. So that's, and obviously that's over there in your Shark Tank over there of Florida. So that's good
That's
to
a Florida
see.
boy.
That's a Florida boy there. So that's really, I think you're right. Like, if you're seeing that everyone is maxing out each game, at that upper end of the board, or especially when in the scrubs, I think that shows that something's a bit too easy. So I think raising that difficulty level or making that choice between tack, kill, and crit a much harder choice, I think that's really good for the game. We've got a few games in. Russ, has anything stood out to you?
You know what? I feel like Ben's talked me around on this.
Oh, okay.
And I hate to say it. I hate to say it so much. But you know what? Like,
hates it,
as
Ben.
someone
He hates it.
I hate.
I love that you hate it. I love that you hate it.
Yeah, like I've no right max scoring. I don't think. Like I'm okay, but I shouldn't be max scoring a game. Like, and I've played I've had games where I've like two games in a row, and maybe I've max scored, and it's been like 21-3, and it's been like that, and I'm just sort of like, you know what? I like the idea, the change of perspective that you look at. Instead of saying it's going to be hard to score, which I do agree. I've played a couple of games, looked through the tac ops, and I'm like, okay, there's a few tac ops that are going to be really situationally hard to score and that can be denied. They've basically increased the chance that your opponent can deny your tac ops as well on quite a few of the occasions. Like, and but I'm changing the way I'm looking at it now during this conversation. It's happening live. And I like the fact that it's potentially, that's right. It shouldn't be easy to max score. And that's a perspective shift. Like, if you've max scored, you've played the perfect game. And I've max scored and have not played the perfect game before. It's just been too easy for me to score the tac ops. And I'm thinking, if I max score now, damn, that's gonna feel good. Like, if I max score now, I've had to anticipate my moves, my opponent's moves, because tac ops can be denied. I've had to play a blinder, and I actually really, I was a little bit down on that, but I really like the challenge that implies of. I like that it's harder now, and the crit op. Yeah, there's a few. I mean, I played a couple of missions, and I really enjoyed the crit ops that I played. I didn't think they were massively more complicated, but you're right. You do have to read them a couple of times, but I don't think they're crazy. It's just the one. I remember one I played. I forget the name of it, but it was literally that in turning point. Turning point 2 and 3, you got one victory point for scoring more. So only one person's getting that. So for turning point 2 and 3, there's 2 victory points up for grabs, and only one can get that one per turn. And then at the end of the turn, it's like compile and send. You can then send. You basically loot them, and then at the end you send them, and you get as many victory points as you send off. But both players can't max that. Both players can't even get close to maxing that. There's only 1, 2, I don't know, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 max. But the thing is, you realize as soon as someone holds 2 points, there's no point trying to get the other one. Like, it doesn't do anything for you. You're never going to score more. Yeah. But I guess you got to think long term. You think, well, I can then send it, so it's worthwhile getting now because I can send it later on. But still, it's only 8 points between 2 players, and that's 12 points they're both trying to score on the tag op, on the crit op. So there is going to be a few games where it's going to be like, I quite like that. And I think there'll be a lot more like 16-13s, like close games where it's like I think the average is going to be, they're going to compress it down, and then if you have an amazing game, I think that's going to be when you see them. Whereas at the moment, you go to a tournament and you do see in the first couple of rounds there's a bunch of 24s, 21-3s hitting that top board, and I think when you see that one, people will be going, oh, this is an absolute blinder of a game. He's getting
so much of a blinder that it took out his camera and audio. Crazy.
We lost the last bit of your sentence then. All we saw was you freeze. Awesome. Your hand was in the air waiting for a high five, it looked like. You were like, am I right? Oh, jeez. I played the
Oh,
other
I
one.
think he froze again.
That's right. I'll cover for him while the internet in London town catches up. I played Energy Cells was the one I played for the first time the other night. Have you played that one yet, Ben? Which is
Energy Cells is kind of a funky one, dude.
it
Energy Cells is
was
funky.
it's like I genuinely
Not
really
played it.
not played. Hey Russ, welcome back. Yeah, like I thought it was a good representation of like keeping what you like about it. You know, it's all about obviously you're scoring for controlling more objective markers than your opponent, as we touched, but then it adds in that extra element where you can pick up the things and run off, and you get those points at the end of the game for controlling. But the earlier in the game you try to pick it up, the more APL it costs you. So I thought that was a cool little dance of when to pick it up. How long do you wait? I was playing a 3 APL team. My opponent was playing a 2 APL team. So very different conundrums. I could pick them up early, but if he could hold them, and yeah, I'd like that push and pull mechanic, as Russ was sort of highlighting too, about it's not just about
Eloquently.
yeah, get
Eloquently saying.
stutteringly through the wash. You know, not just about scoring yourself, but yeah, having that thought process on top of the difficulty or the extra work you need to put in to score your tac ops as well. Like there's wheels within wheels now of being able to balance those at that action economy.
Yeah. And so something I've noticed between tac ops and missions, it seems this pack seems to be more APL intensive. I don't know if you guys have noticed that, but
Yeah,
like
I
there's
thought that as
not
well.
just which I think is part of the reason why maybe last approved ops why there were so many 6. Like you kill this token and you just stand here. You kill this guy and you stand here, or you just walk over here and you plant this beacon, and boom, you're
Yeah.
good. But now a lot of things have changed to scoring at the end of the game, which is a massive change. And I think that one's throwing people for a loop, and I sort of understandably so. I think sort of moving from a boom right here, right now, I gotta burn all the gas in the tank to max out here, versus okay, now I have to sort of play a little bit of a longer game than I'm used to playing, and I think that's a bit of culture shock for people, which I can understand. Like that's sort of a big shift, but I think I'm okay with that shift. Like I'm okay with things changing. I'm okay with trying to think about it a different way. But yeah, like when we were talking about crit op as well, there's one. My favorite probably so far is Stake Claim. I don't know if you guys have played that one yet. But essentially, at the top of each turn, you and your opponent make a claim over an objective mark, and you either say, "I'm going to control this one," or you say, "You're not going to control this one." And I think you can only pick one once. So like you have to sort of just that game it out of making these these gambles. I think is really really fun. So some of them in there, like I remember there's 1 or 2 that maybe I didn't care for. I forget, but yeah, by and large, I think missions are still pretty good.
Mission
9
9's a lot
is
like that,
Reboot.
where you both select an objective.
Oh, I haven't played this one yet.
So you both select an objective, and then you in secret, and you reveal which one you've selected. If you both select the same one, that one's inert and has to be turned back on for 2 action points to be able to be gaining victory points. Or
This is fun,
if you both picked a different one, the one that you didn't pick is inert. So there's kind of like this weird mind game where you're like, I want mine to not be inert. If I go for mine and he goes for mine, it is. So I have to go for another one, assuming he's gone for mine. And like, so you kind of like, I thought that was really cool. I thought that was arguably, that felt less, in my mind, less competitive and more fun. But
that's
I think
Necromunda.
That's good.
Yeah.
That it's like, it was just, so fun to be like, okay, this is going to be a little bit of banter we have during the game, because this is something that's kind of not part of the game, but it could be super influential, and it's the way we score the mission. But it's going to be fun that we both kind of like take this moment to kind of mind trick each other to pick the one that they want, and then did they who won the exchange?
Yes.
I really enjoyed that one. I thought it was a really fun
extra
fun
rock
game,
paper scissors kind of moments in every turn.
Yeah, I did like that.
Now, they did keep as well some of the previous ones. I guess the MVPs from the last one, which was a secure loot and transmission, all made the trip across the Rubicon. Yeah. Good call, bad call. We're happy to see, like, we know that they were the winners, so happy to keep them in and not tweak them.
I think so, especially with the level of change that we have. It's nice that there's
Yeah.
like while even just maybe like okay, while I wrap my brain around these new tac ops, God bless that I can still play
Let's
loot.
just
You
play
know what I mean?
some
Like at
Yeah.
least I know how this one works. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I think good. I think there's good for there to be some continuity.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Is
thought
there
that was a good
anything
change.
that we
Yeah.
think was a bit of a like a miss? Did you think was there anything that maybe didn't change for either of you that you would have liked to have seen? Because I said we've said there was a
Ooh.
lot. Was there anything
Things that didn't change. So many
Yeah.
things changed. I'm trying to think.
Yeah, like is there anything you've
That's
played
the
a game and you're like,
reverse question.
yeah,
Yeah.
What didn't
that's
change?
all I've got. Questions and reverse ones. That's my two things.
Sometimes my opponent's a lot more handsome than me, and I don't like that.
Yeah.
The cards
I
can't
don't
fix
think
that, Russ. I'm
that's-
so sorry.
That's all I had. That's all
You
I
do
had.
get a reroll to
Um,
your initiative though, if that's the case. That's just
Doesn't
that's
help.
a little
Doesn't help me.
and
You
an
know what,
extra CP.
You know what? The only thing, and I've said it before, is I'd like maps to come with their own terrain. Sorry, their own equipment. So I want Beta Decima to come with built-in terrain. I'd like that. Built-in equipment. You get ladders.
Yeah.
You get barricades. And if you're a team that doesn't need them, then you can opt to take one piece of equipment. Either you can take those 2 bits of equipment, or you can take one piece of extra equipment instead. So, like, if you're a flying team like Vespers, you'd be like, well, I don't need them. I'll just take extra grenade. I don't know what you would take, but you get a choice. But they at least
Yeah, this is
replace.
just propaganda for Vespids, dude. This whole take is propaganda for Vespids. We know you
Do you know
love
how
them.
tough it is with them? Do you know how tough it is with this really mission
I don't believe
heavy
it.
team?
I
With a
don't
team
believe
that's
it. I don't believe it for
so
1
stupid.
second.
For Vespers.
So stupid to do mission actions. That's what the team I've got is. They can't even do most of the mission actions because they all say you can't do it in a turn you set up. Although actually, I didn't check them all. I think they have removed that. I'm hoping. Actually, I don't know.
I
Can you
haven't
do it
noticed
live?
any.
Can
Yeah,
you
what
check
do you want to
plant
check?
beacons? Check a
Plant
plant
Beacons is gone, you idiot.
I
Plant
thought it
Beacons
was
is
still
gone.
there. Plant banners.
What?
Plant banner.
Oh, Plant
Plant
Banner.
Banner's
Okay.
there. Plant
That's what I
Banner's
meant.
there.
That's what I meant.
What do you
Ben,
guys?
while Ben's checking, I'm
No,
gonna say
it's not there.
thank you to Metal Beef.
Do you have
for
security?
subscribing with Prime.
Do they have security?
No, they have a seek and destroy and recon.
Recon.
I just wanted to know if they had the wording.
Good for Envoy.
Still.
They'd be good for Envoy.
Yeah, I was gonna say if
I
they have
quite
security,
like
maybe
Envoy,
they
but
can cook a
Envoy's
little bit.
rough. But
If
yeah,
you're a horde,
They have-
it's awesome, dude. It's super cool.
Yeah, I ran. Yeah, I quite liked that on a game I played recently. I thought it was decent. Although it can, the fact that you have to pick a new operative every time is kind of like if your opponent gets super killy, it's like oof.
Yeah.
You got to
Run
really,
out of operatives.
You know what I mean? Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
With equipment,
That's a
would
good
you-
balancing mechanic, I think, though.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Would you guys like to have seen anything else? Like Russ, you touched on equipment there. The balance between faction equipment and universal. Like, would we want to see some form of restriction or change to that maybe automatically each team always gets 1 universal equipment and you take 3 of your faction ones, or like, so as you like, would that fix that Beta Decima problem you were sort of talking about before, that you always get a universal equipment?
Nothing fixes Beta Decima. Beta
I
Decima
don't
must
think
be destroyed and built up
It
from the
is a
ground
joke.
up. It is
Well, even on-
unsavable. There's no way you can save Beta Decima's mortal soul. It is doomed to hell.
Well, let's ignore Beta Decima. What about for our new Tomb World and
I love it.
Yeah.
I love Tomb World.
Yeah, you love it. Would you
It's
want free?
awesome.
Would you want free universal equipment for it though?
It
Do you think
comes
that
with
would-
light terrain. It comes with
Yeah,
light.
already does.
It's perfect.
But
Yeah,
will that
already
hang
does.
around? Because so did ITD.
Huh?
It's already in the map packs.
Yes, but I'm saying, but do you reckon that will be maintained though? Like, is that going to stay?
Yeah,
Or is
it's-
that like,
it's
yeah?
built
you reckon
into
Oh, yeah,
that's-
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah,
ITD
100%.
didn't have it built into the maps, which
Yeah.
was
Oh,
silly.
so
It
that
was,
way-
it was
They
like
just
a
had the
replacement
wall.
for your. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
like different barricades, thematic barricades. Yeah.
I think a lot of people
No.
are selling their Into the Dark because people who play Big Hammer can still play it, whereas the new Tomb World is, I don't know. I've only played a couple of games, but I think it's what Into the Dark should have come out as, and maybe that's a weird thing to say, but
Ooh, that's a
I
bold
really
claim.
like it.
This
really
is
like it.
strangely enough, you've pinned me down. I actually don't yet have an opinion. You found the one thing I don't have an opinion on.
Oh,
I don't yet have an opinion on
Russ.
Tomb World.
Show's over. You've done it.
Okay, here's my opinion. My set of Tomb World looks freaking sick.
win.
That's my opinion on it. But on the actual, I have no clue what I think about it yet. I think some of the teleport is weird. Can we just say the teleport is weird? The teleport is weird. It functions weird. It's a little odd. But hear me out. You have a good pistolero elite guy who can shoot twice. You teleport and you shoot twice, or you teleport and you go on guard. Like, that's kind of cool, but it's a little funky. I need to see it out in play, because
it's a thing to get your brain around, because you forget about it. It's amazing how often someone moves through and you go, oh yeah, that's right. I thought you couldn't get across over here. Like, I thought I'd lock this room down.
Do you know what the thing that I'm dying to have happen? I want to move onto it and go on guard, and then, because if someone goes on the other
idiot
one,
you're playing, have the brainless idiot you're playing teleport and send you back
just
there.
On guard. Yeah, and then you're like back in your back lines. Thank you very much, guard.
Yeah,
I
you know when you're playing your 4-year-old nephew.
Yeah.
What if they do the opposite? They just send you to the room you didn't want to be in. They're just like, you're like, haha, I'm on this room guard. Like, well, I'm just going to send you back there.
Something that I think is cool for like Rekkas, if you park I'm going to park a bomb squig on this all game long. If you want to use it, go for it.
I like
the idea of running a guy through it and then keeping them on there and like shooting a little bit. And then what you do is you have you run a melee unit up behind it. So when they charge your other guy, if you can survive, you can then just disengage through it and swap, so that your new fresh melee guy comes out of the teleporter ready for combat. I mean, you've got to have to really set them up, but it would be fun.
My brain hurts even thinking about that.
It's got a lot of fun interactions, I think. But I
do like. I'll be curious to see how it plays in competitive.
Yeah. Ultimately,
the wall thing. Some of them are funky though, because like to get to a center objective, or even some of them to get to your home objective, you got to blow up this wall, dog. So that's a pretty significant APL tax if you don't do it right. So I'm just curious to see how it plays out. I like that we have. Here's one. Oh, here's Reese to answer your question. One thing they did not give us that I think is criminal. They didn't give us new ITD maps. Hate that. I hate that.
Considering one of people's biggest complaints. Owns it, yeah.
Yeah, and then people have not been happy with the official GW Into the Dark maps. They have felt a little stale this edition. Just big open shooting galleries a lot of the time. Not enough of those close quarters, setups that we all loved. Some of the Tomb Worlds, I think, gives us a little bit of that back. But I would have some official layouts for Into the Dark. That's my answer to that old question.
A bit of a transition, wouldn't you? We might do it for this mission pack as we phase the ITD terrain out, but as you said, for it to abruptly to be like, it's gone, no more packs, don't worry about it. I get it. It feels bad. Did you see in the chat there, Russ, Tabletop War Masters did say that you can't do that as guard is removed once you've been moved. I was
thinking that. So there you go. But you're not the operative that's moved. You go onto the
it makes sense.
And then you go on guard, and then someone
because it replaces a reposition.
Move.
Yeah. And core rules wise, it makes sense. It replaces a reposition. It counts as a reposition.
So you're on it, and then someone's on the other one. If they go onto it, they move to where you are, and you move to where they are. But does that count as can you move outside your activations? What I mean.
It counts as a reposition.
They moved.
Guard. There's a core rule about guard. There's a core rule about guard where if you are set up or you moved, or I think it even says or set up again, then it breaks guard. I think.
Right. Yeah, move from the battlefield and reset up is probably the terminology.
I think you're right. Yeah.
Yeah. Once you move.
That's probably it.
Yeah.
Once you've been up and down,
the cool move can't be done, guys. Devastating.
What do you guys think about the terrain? One thing that impressed me, just quickly, I know we're probably very close to the end here, but I just wanted to say, setting up is a dream compared to ITD, especially
much easier.
The box.
Yeah. It's much more fragile, though. I will say this. One thing about Into the Dark, Kill Team in the Dark, it is once you get it set up, it might wobble, it might never lay flat, but boy, is it pretty sturdy.
It's robust.
This stuff is you can put it
lay
together pretty easily, which is awesome. We're like, that's more important. It's more important to be easily set up and tore down. But boy, it does come apart a whole bunch. It does come apart a whole bunch.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is better though. I think it's better. It's just a note.
Yes. Oh well, look. I think that's a good point. We'll end on that there. I think we've covered the new cards pretty heavily. Hopefully in the upcoming weeks, as I said, we might do a bit of a overall review of the state of the game. Once we've got once we're ready for our final word. Once we've taken everyone else's opinions and made them our own. We'll definitely put that together. But overall, I'd say for myself, final thoughts. I think it's really good. I said change isn't a bad thing, but it does mean that it will always create comparison to what we, any crusty old Warhammer player will be like, this isn't as good as back in 3rd edition when they had some rule that was not actually that good and everyone hated it at the time. So let's just get out there. Play
and that was an impression of yourself, right? You doing a self-impression there. Yeah, I thought that was remarkable, dude. Yeah.
I even did the voice. That was me.
Yeah. Blown away.
Look, I know you're still shocked that I took a stand on something and was ready to defend my territory.
I think we need. Here's the thing. I love to argue for sport. It's something I actively try and curb about myself. Because I love the heat of verbal exchange, but you get too heated. But so I love it. I think we need more hot take arguments on this channel. That's what we need.
A huge thank you to everyone in the chat too. The chat's been going off. It's really, really amazing. It's always great to see live people's opinions on what we're saying and our arguments as they're happening live. And we really, really appreciate everyone joining us live. Obviously, we are at the newer, sort of an hour earlier than when we usually record. Just trying to make the time zones work for the three of us so we can get the three of us here as often as possible. So thank you everyone for making the switch. If you're listening in the podcast, thank you very much for your ear holes. We appreciate you letting us in and taking up some space. Thank you, as always, to the very direct and strongly of the positive camp for the new initiative system, Ben from Battle Brothers Tabletop.
The second node himself. Thank you, first node, for passing it to second node. Ben over here, thank you for having me. Passing it over to node number 3, obelisk number 3.
The third node. The third node. I'm the third node. Thank you very much. I don't know what this is. The diamond.
No, I like this. This is great.
Yeah, this is vaguely obelistic.
This feels like the node thing. You know what we need to do? We need to line up and be like, and then you're passing this over. He's gonna get ceaseless goodbying from me for being on me. It's recent.
Accurate to goodbye.
Yeah, as long as it's not relentless, guys. Okay.
No rerolls.
07's in the chat to everyone in there. Thank you so much. We'll see ya next week for more Kill Team Casuals. See yous.
Later.